I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
I'd like to spend today and tomorrow talking about what to do when a child says, I hate you, or does hurtful or hateful behavior. What we call this is the goal of revenge. And when a child is in the goal of revenge, they're feeling hurt and they're going to make us feel hurt the way they feel hurt. So when your child is doing this behavior, they're often saying or doing hurtful and hateful things, and you're going to be feeling hurt like you want to hurt them back. And you may even notice yourself saying hurtful things back and going, gosh, why am I saying that to my child? Well, it's because they have mistakenly come to believe that if I make you feel hurt the way I feel hurt, then I feel loved or connected or valuable. They've mistakenly come to believe that this is how they get their needs met in their world. So correcting this one is pretty important because if you don't correct it effectively, you can alienate your children and disrupt your relationship to the point that when they're teenagers, you won't have much influence over them. So when they do these hurtful, hateful things, the first thing that you want to do is postpone discipline. So this is not saying don't discipline them, but you need to hold off on discipline for a while until you reestablish and reconnect your relationship. We have a saying in the Parenting Teenagers workshop, and it's rules without relationship equals rebellion. So if you try to discipline or establish rules or try to correct them when your relationship is damaged, then you often don't have any influence over your children. And this is what happens when the child is in the goal of revenge. When they're doing hurtful, hateful behavior, in that moment, there's a disconnect in our relationship. There's a disruption. And so we really don't have much influence. So the most helpful thing that you can do is to postpone discipline.
Looking to invest? Start your journey by exploring exchange-traded funds with Global X ETFs. Exchange-traded funds, or ETFs for short, create baskets of stocks, bonds, and other assets that you can buy in a single trade. Global X specializes in ETFs that track emerging trends, like the rise of artificial intelligence, as well as strategies aimed to generate income potential. Visit globalxetfs.com to discover how you can get started.
And you want to make a mental note of what was it that you asked your child to do prior to this happening, because you want to come back to it later if possible and, make good on it. For example, one time my son was in the goal of revenge and he went over and he kicked the coffee table leg and he broke it. Well, I postponed discipline because he was in the goal of revenge and I did the rest of the corrective measures. And later on, when we had reestablished our relationship and reconnected, I came back and I said, Michael, you need to fix the coffee table leg and here's the screw gun and I'll help you fix it if you need help. So you don't want to refrain, you don't want to not discipline them, but you do need to wait until you've reestablished your connection to them. The other thing that you want to do is you want to mirror back to them the impact they're having on their world. What often happens is they'll say or do something hurtful. So let's say they say, I hate you. And most often we'll say something like, well, I love you, or, well, that's okay. It's okay if you say that. I don't feel that way about you, or we'll say something to them, and it just often isn't effective. One of the most effective ways to respond to the I hate you is to say, ouch, that hurts. So when they say, I hate you, say, ouch, that hurts. You're mirroring to them the impact they're having on their world. This is really important because little kids don't often know what's going on. Like for example, if they're petting the kitty cat too much or they're picking it up by the neck or by the tail, you want to say ow at the same time so that they know that that's hurting the cat. You can explain that that's hurting the cat all you want, but when you say ow in a sharp tone of voice, they often can get it. So anytime your child is saying or doing something hurtful, make a mental note to remember to say, ow, that hurts. Tomorrow we'll talk about some further ways that we can correct what we call the goal of revenge, or when your child is being hurtful or hateful. Have a great day and happy parenting.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.
Listen closely as a master painter carefully brushes Benjamin Moore Regal Select down the seam of the wall. It's like poetry in motion. Benjamin Moore, see the love.